Hi, ladies. We come to the end of the Gospel of Matthew of our study. What a beautiful finish as we finish in this chapter 28. The entire Gospel of Matthew serves to equip us for the fulfillment of the Great Commission. Matthew provides, through the teachings of the Messiah, the basis for the right character of kingdom citizens, and as well as guidelines for the right relationships within the church. Matthew is a gospel of the King. Over the entire Gospel of Matthew, here is what we have seen of the King. From chapters 1 to 4, we saw the person of the King. We saw Jesus' early life and ministry. In chapters 5 to 7, we saw the platform of the King, and we looked at the Sermon of the Mount in these chapters. In chapters 8 to 10, we saw the power of the King. This is where we saw, the miracles as well as his mission. In chapters 11 to 13, we see the parables of the King, and we see these parables being revealed to his disciples. In chapters 14 to 18, we see the progressive rejection of the King. We see more miracles here, but we see now the responses towards these miracles and his rejection. In chapters 19 to 25, we see the presentation of the King. This is where we saw the triumphal entry and the controversies began. In chapters 26 to 28, we see the passion of the King, where we've seen the death and now the resurrection. We look at 3 points in this study: risen King, report of the God, reassurance for believers. Risen King. Now, Matthew wants us to have a vivid imagination of the scene at the tomb. A great earthquake has happened. An angel of the Lord, whose appearance was like lightning, appears, dressed with clothing as white as snow. The guards trembled and became like dead men. And he tells the women, "I know that you're looking for Jesus who was crucified. He's not here. He has risen." And as proof of the angel's startling announcement, the angel invites the women to look into the empty tomb. This must have strengthened their faith and prepared them to serve as witnesses to the disciples. So they go quickly as he has instructed, and on the way they meet with Jesus. Notice that they took hold of his feet. Symbolically, they recognized Jesus' kingship and they worshipped him. And Jesus repeats the same message as the angel and tells the women to go and tell the disciples to go to Galilee where they would see him. Note he calls the disciples his brothers. In chapter 12, verse 50, Jesus says that whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother. 2 reports of the God. Now, while the women were on their path of obedience, the guard went into the city and tells the chief priests all that had taken place, who then, of course, assembled with the council to plot. And they gave the guards money to say that his disciples came at night and stole the body while they were asleep, apparently to keep them out of trouble from the governor. Now, whether this was discovered by Pilate, Matthew doesn't tell us, but this story has spread among the Jews up to date. 3, reassurance for believers. To reassure is to remove doubt. Here now we read of the Great Commission. Last words are lasting words. Matthew, by the guidance of the Spirit, chose carefully what he wanted to linger on his readers' minds, on our minds as we finish this gospel. Jesus has a big job for his followers, and he says, "All authority in heaven and on earth is given to me. Go ye therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey all that I have commanded you, and I'm with you always to the very end of age." All is a key word here. All authority, all nations, all things. Jesus is saying that we are not to select the teachings as it pleases us, baptizing them. Baptism is not a step to salvation, rather a step of obedience and as a public declaration to represent one's identity with Christ. And I'm with you always to the very end of age. What a great reassurance for us as followers of Christ. Now, what can we learn from these ladies? That in all these things, having done all to stand firm, there are three things that we may seek. First, the fruit that is perpetual, never ending or changing. The risen Messiah has commissioned us to continue his disciple making ministry in his authority throughout the world. Our task is to win people to Christ. John 15:16 says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you." Second, that we may seek prayer that is effectual, producing the desired effect. We read great examples and teachings of prayers from Jesus in Matthew. And may we also follow in that. And thirdly, that we may seek joy that is celestial, divine, coming from God, supremely good. We have a choice. We can live like the women at the tomb, to be where Jesus is, listening, learning, serving, giving, worshiping, and we will have a life that is full of joy. God bless you.